Welcome back. If you're watching us from home, today we are talking about urban farming. And with me in studio, I'm still with Samuel Kamau, who is an urban farmer. And he has been giving us a lot of insights about urban farming. Talking about hydroponics and that you are not using soil. How then do these plants or crops get their nutrients?
Okay, now hydroponic, if I can define just hydroponic, it's just growing plants without using soil. Soil is just a base of holding a plant. Most of the plants just go into the soil just to find the minimal nutrients that they get. But most of the nutrients that plants get it through either water, sunlight, or anything that is surrounding. So organically, those small things that we find along the farms, they do provide nutrients to the soils. So the soil is just a base. So after getting that idea, I would try and take a plant, put it use water, but now I supplement my own water with some few organic fertilizers so that it will just help the plant to bloom more on it. But you even don't need anything to add on water. The plants themselves, water can give nutrients as the plants they need.
I know the other issue that always comes up is capital. How did you start? Or how much did you have when you started?
Yes, challenging part of it. I didn't have much by then. Considering I was doing urban farming as a height hustle. It was just my own farm, trying to find, just saving a little money and less of buying some vegetables for my family. I thought, why don't I just plant here so that unless of buying some few other vegetables outside, we just buy a little bit of outside and get some vegetables outside. So that's how I started being. And then I later come to be, when you try and bring in new technologies into board, that's where now comes a bit of challenge on capital-wise and farming. So for me, I would say I've used much of what I've been saving. And it has been an interesting journey. So far, so good. I wouldn't complain yet to find any challenges, but finances, you need to be you need to know what you need. Because the moment you entail technology, you need a lot, you need quite an amount. Because the setup itself would cost you quite an amount. So for me, it's just my little savings that I used so far. So that's what I've been trying to.
Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of learning also, do you only just sit at home and try stuff, or you also go out and get some little knowledge from organizations, from forums, how do you get some of this knowledge to grow such crops?
I love knowledge, any kind of knowledge. I like new things. I like trying everything. I would say so far before I even did this, I've tried so many things. So due to that, I found that is a passion I love. I love knowing more and new things. So I started researching on so different many things. I've done hydroponically, I did it. I would say for say microgreens, this is self-taught. I taught myself. And it hasn't been an easy journey. I've grown, they failed me. I've done it again, they have failed me. But the failing part is the learning part. But also at the same time, it's good to try and find more knowledge outside. So I've collaborated with find a few farmers around Kenya, went for some agriculture. The interesting part, shows have always been the best part. I've always gotten the information that I need. Shows around, I've gone everywhere. I've gone in Nyeri, I've gone in Eldoret, I've gone in Nairobi. I never missed shows before COVID. I went each and every shows because I would go each and every area and find a new technology, and I find a new idea. I go to Eldoret, I find a new idea. I go to Nairobi, I find another idea. When I compile that idea, it comes up with a different, maybe, view. So that's how let's say, so far the way I've gone is through research of myself, at the same time trying to find other researchers outside.
Okay. And can you say this kind of farming also pays?
All you have to have is an idea and a plan. Just that. Have an idea and a plan. As long as you have a good idea, definitely money will follow you. So this is my idea. Maybe it's good to me, money will follow me. So far, I would say it's beside COVID. COVID is the only thing that maybe has given me some few challenges. Business was about to peak on the first beginning of this year, but everything went flat after COVID. So for now, I didn't lose hope. I'm back again, and I'm willing to share more of the ideas, because I have more ideas in mind. Maybe I've not exploited them in the right way, but I'm thinking of adding more ideas in it, have a plan on it, because I have a plan that maybe if I can just have a wheel to push it on, it will move to the next level. Okay. But it pays. If you can just have an idea and a plan, it will give you money in your table.
Maybe you can give us an example, like this container you're holding, these microgreens, this size alone, how much is it?
Like now, this microgreen, a small container like this, can fetch you 200 shillings.
How much do you put in such a container, and how long does it take?
It takes, period of growth is 10 to 14 days.
Like so that's 2 weeks?
That's 2 weeks. This is an 8th day, and it is already ready for harvest. And this taking for a client, because this is just a client's order. When you have this, let's say for a client, they like it when it's called a live microgreen. It's when you just harvest it considering to your consumption. So this is easier because it really keeps it fresh. At the same time, you use it for a longer period than when it is packed in a punnet. For a punnet, you have to use it because the backside of this is that they perish very fast. About vegetables perish quite fast. So unless you are consuming it at that moment, so that's why we are starting it's called a live microgreen, where we give you grains when it's still live. You just consume considering on how you want it. We do every kind of vegetables, not only microgreens. We do every kind of vegetables, from kales, from let's say any kind of greens that you think of. If you like them live, maybe you would like some kales that you want to be just harvesting, we'll just grow it for you and bring it back to your farm and you do it for them. Let's say, for example, if it has cost me around less than 80 shillings, 80 Kenyan money, but now I'm selling it at 200 shillings. So you see, if you can do some maths, let's say you can get an order of around 10 a day, you do some mathematics there, you'll find you get some good money.
Okay. So what advice will you give to the youth, especially those who are looking for jobs in town and thinking, what did I do wrong that I'm not getting a job?
I've been there. I've been there looking for a job, and it's not an easy journey. The only thing maybe I would say, what really maybe those youths already need is a platform. A platform is only most of the youths need. Ideas. Just give a platform to a youth, they will do marvelous. For me, I didn't have a platform, but I had a passion in me. So what I can give those youths that are around, maybe thinking they don't have, they are loitering around, maybe they are looking around for jobs, they are finding jobs, they are feeling hopeless. Click on that hopelessness, think of something, then find a platform. You will go far. And you don't have to just be shallow on your career. No. Be bold. For me, this is not even a career I've never even, my agriculture part I did is only in high school. I've never done any more. But now the information that I have, I think I have more information maybe than, I have information maybe even a university student has. But because I had a passion, and I never gave up. I did more researches, and now I would say, right now I am even thinking of starting a new way. I'm modeling on starting my own organic fertilizer, where we are dealing on new farm methods, where when you entail new farm methods, you use organic, where we create our own organic fertilizers, where we can utilize them, and less of using the normal fertilizers where they are bringing a bit of.
Okay. I've heard you talking about organic a lot. Yes. Maybe you can tell us a little bit why you think it is also important to inculcate organic farming or organic productions in your farm.
Right now, how things are looking, we would say we need to check on our health. There is so much fatalities of cancers, so much cases of cancers, so much of other diseases that are cropping up. But all goes back to the basics. We need to go back to our generations. That's why we need I just asked once a small question. My grandmother just passed away just a few years back, actually a year back, but she was almost 93. But she never even bent. She was, and she had all her tooth. So I usually ask myself, how come my grandmother is so strong like this? But I remember every time my grandmother always told me, eat well, look what you're eating. Because that was the main part she did. So I went back to myself and thought, okay, so the basics is eating. Then I later came to understand, now what am I eating? Now that's why I now started researching. Is the food that is in my table, the food that now is in your table, how good is it? How healthy is it? So that's how I now started thinking. I think now we need to go back to our ages where, because the old times of the old farming, they did organic farming. They did add a lot of things that are added in farms nowadays, fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides. No. It was just about planting, living, water, and nature. We just allowed nature to grow itself. So that's how I thought, now let me revamp this organic thing and bring in more and try and educate people so that when you have a good meal, when you have a meal that is on table, you are trusting this meal is good to me, unless of having a meal on the table which you are not sure how this meal is on your table, because you need to know where you're. Now the story is just to reduce the gap between the farm and the kitchen, because in between here is where everything goes a mess, from the farm to the kitchen. So because most of the people do use chemicals because of the market. So if you can avoid, if you can try and bring in the kitchen closer to the farm, meaning the farmer will plant better ways and give to the consumer a better product.
Okay. Talking about the market, how is the market for what you are doing at the moment? Are you struggling to get a market, or you are not even be able to meet the demand?
Yeah, the market right now, I would say the market for now, let me speak of microgreens. Microgreens is a new entity, it's a new venture. Okay, it's new to people around Kenya. Very few people know about it. Quite a number knew, but very few knew about it. And the only people who usually understand what are microgreens and their uses are restaurants and sub-chefs. So I would say the market right now is a bit challenging. Considering again, after COVID, the biggest my market was restaurants. Now, after COVID, everything went to a shallow. But I'm hopeful. When you have an idea, just stick to it. It will go to the next level. Bringing it to the open, I'm trying to educate people the importance of eating healthy, eating good, because this is also a meal that you can eat raw. You don't have to cook it. And the interesting part of it, when I speak about microgreens, is usually told like this. Let's say, for example, these are radishes. Radishes are 40 more times nutritious than the mature one. Okay. So considering it's 40 more times nutrition, so you find the nutrients that are here, it gives you a good idea that this is the new way. If we can adapt it to our lifestyle, this is the new way. But for now, the market, it's still persistent. I have to persist on it. I'm still pushing on it, but God is good. God is ahead. All will be good.
I remember when we started, we watched a clip of a setup of how a kitchen garden needs to look like. And that setup is mostly, even the government is doing it at the moment, and you can visit that garden to learn. It's for free. What encouragement will you give to young people who are seeking knowledge? Are you also willing maybe to train, to educate others, to learn what you've learned over time?
Yes. It's nice. I'm happy to know that the government has taken the initiative to try and educate, especially young people, to adapt, or to feel free to have. Okay, that I like the idea. Mm-hmm. It's nice, and I love it. How the government has initiated it, that's the best thing. Because the knowledge itself will really take this whole farming revolution to the next level. Yes, for me, I will share because even the knowledge that I have, I didn't have it. I outsourced it from others. So I also have the knowledge that I can pass on. Because believe me, my happiness and joy is when I see another person doing it, and maybe even doing it better than I'm doing it. Because it really gives me hope for my future and my kids' future. Because if we can do things better and the right way, and we do things healthier, I believe we can go to the next level with it. And I love how the government, and I wish the government can just insist it on more. Yes, that's a good platform. I would ask each and every youth, please take that opportunity. Visit the agricultural ministry. It will be nice. It will open up your mind. It will open up your ideas. Think of it, exploit it, try it. Don't, even if you fail, just try it. Because until you fail, you'll never know the importance, you'll never know the challenging in it. Try it. It is nice, and be open-minded.
Okay. What does the future hold for you now?
Future for me, I would say I'm going high. And the reason why I'm saying I'm going high because my farm is going high. I am doing vertical farming. That's my new module. I will be thinking to be venturing it from, that's a plan I'm thinking of next year. We are thinking of doing vertical farming. I've been researching more on a farm that is in Dubai. It's a very big farm. It's called vertical farm, and it's in Dubai, and they are quite a number. I love the technology they are using. I would really love to know more on it. So I've been doing so researching. So my idea is going high, because if we can go up once, we'll avoid this encroachment of entering into forest, encroaching, destroying our environment by putting too much pesticides on our soils and destroying our nature. We would allow nature to be nature, because as I love Mangari Mother said, if you mess with nature, it will mess with you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Samuel. That was an amazing conversation. I'm also hoping that the youth out there are learning from you, and they will be able, even as you ask them to visit the Ministry of Agriculture, to see the setup there. That in the coming days we'll see more and more crop being produced within the city, using the small spaces, and I'm sure we'll be able to feed ourselves.
Maybe I would just point out, I would love you do, if we can adapt on urban farming, it can really change. There is a farm is in Japan. They are growing in high towers. A tower, I would say a building like KICC, the surrounding is just a farm, a full farm. So that's the joy of it. That's the beauty of it. It's farming, but it's also the beauty and nature to it. So imagine how beautiful it would be if you had KICC as an example, having a farm all around it with the beauty it is nice, it's beautiful. So it's a good idea. I would say let's young youths be creative, be idealistic, and be open-minded, and all will be well.
Oh, okay. I think that will be a great place to leave this conversation for today. And also still want to say thank you to you for sparing some time to be with us. I'm also interested in microgreens. Maybe I'll start also my own small farm. You never know. But for now, that is it from AgriTalk today. Until next time, goodbye.